our library first. We're gonna come right through here. The library is on the 4th and 5th floor, but we're only going to the 4th floor currently. Because our 5th floor. Our station. So, for example, we'll rotate either midway through the year or yearly. Like I know this year they just added like to a burger station, which is smash burgers. We did not have that last year, and things like that. So there are new options every year. We do have a lot of kosher, vegetarian, vegan, whatever dietary restriction you're on. Everything here is made to order, so you don't have to worry about anything like that because you can just order yourself. You know every ingredient that's going to be fresh and only. Like I said, we do have many other burn things, but this is the one that I'm going to show you today. Starbucks and this market, that is also included in your dining dollar, in your meal plan. But you can get anything you would get at a full functioning Starbucks here using your dining dollars. Definitely saved me multiple times. I get Starbucks like 3 times a week. Because I'm just the coffee, but that's just me. Super nice that I don't have to pay for it myself. The market's fun to grabbing those things. A lot of like just grabbing those salads, just grabbing those sandwiches. Snacks, cookies, chips, so like detergent. I ran out of detergent. I got it off the market. Again, didn't have to pay for it. My bank account is super grateful. They also have like a milkshake machine, so this market's also great. Grabbing those things, especially if you're living in 15. You basically, when a package is delivered, you get emailed the code, you type in that code, locker pops open, and you get your package. Super convenient, you can get it at any time, even on the weekend, so you don't have to wait for like a mailroom to be open or anything, which is super nice. And this is officially the farthest point on campus, so you basically just walk right into campus. You want to get anywhere, the train's going to stop at Pullman.
Yeah. Hall is across the street.
City Hall is over there, that building, if you look right when you cross the street, it's 41 Park Road. It's the original New York Times building. And Pace bought it out.
Oh, they did.
Many, many years ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you down to the welcome speech that we are hosting for open house. And
Jamming.
it's going to be in our gym.
Look at her, she's jamming. I love it. Everybody jamming.
This is a bunch of fun spots. Everything is here for compressor and soundproof technology. So the all the chairs are here. These are all soundproof technology. Open first come first serve. We have a lot of campus events here on campus. Our student center has it's been like a roller skating rink, it's been a blood drive, it's been a spa with masseuses and nail techs, it's been drag queen performance stage, it's been so much. So we do, even though we are singing, we do make the most of the space that we do have.
Yes, please.
Okay.
No, take me downstairs.
Working our way in this building. And there's always the stairs for some music taking.
More to go further. They know that you learn to experience. They are drawn to the university know too. A university that trusts the path of each student. And these
minutes, 525,000 moments of fear, 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in the life? How about
you this morning. I think we owe them one more round of applause. What a way to start our open house. Beautiful, beautiful. Welcome to Pace University. I'm Dr. Joseph Franco. I'm Senior Advisor to the Provost and Executive VP for Academic Affairs. That says a lot. I work in an office where I actually ensure that the academic programs keep the integrity and academic needs of our students, and also our teams do a similar job here to ensure that we're also state-of-the-art and our programs are current and actually meet state standards. One thing I can tell you about Pace University after 37 years of it, I'm still loving it. Bottom line is that we prepare students for professional world. Our career services office is probably for us our state-of-the-art again office because it really connects our students to the profession. We look at our students in Sam's College right now. They talk about selling tickets. Here you go. The connection is there. I also teach psychology and mental health. That's my other hat. And I've had the opportunity over many years to work with students and prepare them for clinical training in prisons. I think parents are reading as well. Also children's facilities, and also one-to-one clinical practice. So whether you're here for arts, business, etc., the real-world experience is in the classroom from the beginning to the end. And I can say that as a professor. I have the opportunity to network with students and help them. Also prepare presentations with them and write articles with them. So part of what I try to do is engage the student. We need to help, and we want to engage the student.
Good morning, everyone!
Good morning.
All right, that's better. Wow, where do I even begin? As you've heard, my name is Jeremiah Williams, and I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, was raised in Houston, Texas, and arrived here in New York City to attend Pace University roughly 6 years ago now. Today I want to tell you my story, and from it I hope it becomes clear to you, as it did for me, why I chose, why I stayed, and today why I come back to Pace. So why did I choose Pace? $1 million. First and foremost, I did my research, and you should too. What college you go to is a big choice, and when you're coming out of high school, as I was, it feels like the biggest decision in the world. As I was considering all of my options, I looked for 3 things. First, location. Pace, New York City, did I say more? Check. Second, academics. As a political science major, I wanted to be immersed in deep discussions about politics, but also experience real-world engagement with public policy. At Pace, sitting involved in opportunities to work, get an internship, and hear directly from lawmakers and elected officials is literally across the street. Okay. Third, careers, as you've already heard today. But when I left college, I needed to be assured I could get a job, and one that pays well. I spoke at length with the extraordinary Pace Career Services Center, and they truly are the extraordinary Pace Career Services Center. And I felt deeply assured that was possible. Check. After doing my research, I committed. And what really sealed the deal was my orientation experience. I had not once been to New York City before actually committing to Pace University. I had barely flown on a plane in fact. So my decision to choose Pace was quite a leap of faith. But as the saying goes, faith without works is dead. So the moment I stepped foot on campus in the fall semester of 2019, that's exactly what I did. I got to work. And that brings me to why I stayed. My Pace story is only possible because of the unparalleled opportunities that were available. With hard work, I went from working just one job as a gardener at a plant sanctuary after Texas to working a combined 22 jobs and leadership positions while being a full-time student here at Pace, involving myself in nearly every corner of this university. I mean, literally every corner. I'll give you the highlights. I started off on campus and was hired as a tour guide, many of which you see today. Our tour guides are great. I love our tour guides. Make sure you say hi to them. Then I became orientation leader and a resident assistant, or RA. What felt like the big 3 were the EGOTs of Pace. That's what I did. Then I really went for it. My love for speech and debate led me to becoming the founding president of Pace Debates, now Pace Debates Society, the official speech and debate team of Pace University. We hosted the governor's debate between current Governor Kathy Hochul and then Republican Congressman Nizel. Next, I was invited by the Office of Public Affairs to go to the state capitol in Albany for student advocacy and urged our lawmakers to increase financial assistance for marginalized and low-income students across the state. I was invited by a School of Education alum to become a debate coach for middle school students after seeing my passion for starting a debate team. I never thought being a teacher was in my pace path. Suddenly, I found myself teaching at 2 schools right here in Manhattan. But there's one part of my pace path I want to highlight today that I'm particularly proud of, only possible by attending a school like this. In October 2021, I was notified that I had been nominated by the Peace and Justice Studies program to deliver a speech to the United Nations. I was to speak on behalf of over 30 civil society organizations and represent the youth of the world. How long do I have to prepare? I asked. About 2 weeks, is that okay? Was the response. I'm grateful to Dr. Bolton and to my Global Politics of Disarmament class who helped me deliver a speech of a lifetime to the general public. Afterward, I did press interviews, dined with dignitaries, met with diplomats, and ultimately, I became a speechwriter and United Nations advisor to the Costa Rican ambassador to the United Nations. You could say I got busy. And that's not even mentioning how I met Kiki Palmer in my first week at PACE because I got tickets to Good Morning America. That's not mentioning surviving a once-in-a-century global pandemic, yeah, that was me. Or how tennis icon Naomi Osaka stole my seat at the ESPYs, I stand by that, I was there. And being selected as the commencement speaker last year when I graduated this past May. Or landing that full-time job offer as a legislative analyst that paid well, doing the work that I set out to do from the very beginning. And that's why I come back to this. Because when I strip all of what I just said away, I remember being just like some of you. Exiting my senior year of high school, opening those fateful your application decisions, ready emails, but I was deciding my future based on research, a couple of YouTube videos and blogs of people attending the school, and hoping I didn't screw it up. Well, I'm here to report I didn't screw it up, and neither will you, especially if you take a leap of faith and choose this. So, take a leap. The choice is yours, and have faith. It's going to work out. Come find me. I'm happy to tell you more about my story, especially to the students who are trying to make that decision for themselves. And with that, thank you everyone.
I spoke at the UN. When I say amazing students, that's just one example of one of our amazing students and so many amazing success stories that occur throughout the day from our community here at PACE. So hopefully you enjoy that. So thank you, Dr. Franco, for those inspiring words of wisdom, and welcome home, Jeremiah. I love hearing about the PACE. So today we hope that you see PACE the way we do. So we harness the one-of-a-kind energy of this city to benefit your student experience with top-ranked academic offerings, world-class internships with the world's top companies, countless opportunities to get involved in a diverse and welcoming environment. We know that PACE is the right fit for you. PACE is known for a lot of things, but what really sets us apart is our commitment to provide opportunity for each and every one of our students. So it's all about you. Whether you want to teach in an elementary school, study social equity issues in at-risk communities, or make your mark on the global technical scene, PACE will help you get where you want.
Time to go to today, really get to explore and see, kind of what feels right for your PACE, what I want to get involved in, right, when I come here in the future, yeah? So my name is Jordan. I'm the Welcome Center Manager here on New York City campus at Peace University. Once again, welcome to our fall open house. We are so excited to have you all here today. Yeah.
Sit in the front.
The restrooms here, right out here. That's right closer and then right down the hall.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Why don't you let us know what courses you take this year, your senior year, for example?
So I'm capstone class that was mentioned. He's my amazing professor for that class. I'm also taking leadership and management. I'm actually, so that UMB 101 class that Dr. Mendelson discussed, I'm actually the peer leader for that class, so that's another class. And I had extra credits this semester, so I'm taking a graphic design class for fun.
Oh, that's great. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about, I mean, I think anyone who comes here and picks UMB 101 is the first contact point, really. And it's really the course that gives you a sort of overview of how to navigate the university. So tell us, I mean, it's just amazing that there are, I'm not sure I was aware that we're peer leaders in UMB 101. So I'm learning here. Just tell us a little bit more about what you do as a peer leader in UMB 101.
So I basically, I'm kind of like a
So, tell us where you're living now and where you live in the city.
nice drinks. You want to take a drink?
Nice coffee.
Nice coffee. Oh,
Yeah, we're
nice
having a
coffee.
nice coffee here with 4 different flavor syrup from the Starbucks. We're doing classic, hazelnut, peppermint, and caramel today. And then you can do like some little whipped cream on top.
Nice.
Yep.
Thank
Okay,
you.
enjoy, right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Would you like me to take you? I can take it as well.
Yeah. So I think you guys are working on a 4.1 people to get it in.
Oh, yeah, we have this program.
Yeah. So public health would be the
Public health semester just opened.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting stuff.
Yeah. So you could get your 4-year in and then automatically feed into the public health.
Yeah, every time I come
And then you would get your master's in 1 year versus 2 years, and you would come out with an undergraduate degree and a master's degree in that program.
Yeah, of course. If you want to take any merch, feel free. These are stickers.
What careers?
Those are magnets.
Like
if you're going to be on this campus,
Yeah,
then
so
that business
we
card down
currently
there
have
is
like
the
over 200
university
partners in the
campus,
tri-state area.
But I really enjoy it. There's a lot of opportunities for cool things. I like the environment. I feel like it's a really nice environment. Like everyone I've met and talked to, oh, that's so exciting! Yeah, you definitely will find like your group of people when you're here. I recommend getting involved pretty right away, just because you can find like that community that works best for you.
Oh, Alexia. Oh, look who's here again.
Anybody else coming, or is that it? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Welcome again. We were just telling folks that we had a happy donor give $10 million to renovate our spaces, which we're going to show you right now. That integrate the faculty offices, which are on this side, with the labs, which are in these hallways and behind that here, with science student dedicated study spaces. It's really buzzing with activity, and the best thing is students interacting with the faculty on a daily basis. And one of our advantages here at PACE is really the relationships that the faculty form with the undergraduate students are lifelong. I told some of you already earlier, we don't have a PhD program, so all the research that gets done here is done by the hands of the undergraduate students. So they get a lot of one-on-one training, and they're highly appreciated in the field. So I will take you into one of the labs and show you some of our spaces.
So cool.
Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'll take you into just a couple of labs. So here I just want to show you the layout of our labs. So the labs are capped at 20 students maximum. One table is for the instructor, and students are divided into 5 groups of 4, so that's 20 students. But usually it's 12 to 18 students per lab section, and that's where, in a 3-hour lab, that's where you really get to know the instructors and you learn the technique and get corrected on all your techniques. Every group, as you can see, has the vacuum and the gas and so on. I usually show the plants stuff, but we don't have right now any of the plants that eat the insects because the professor that does botany is on sabbatical. But we have cockroaches. Dr. Fa. Here, tell us what you do with the cockroaches.
Question. So basically, these are African cockroaches.
Is it the Madagascar?
Yes, it's the Madagascar. So these cockroaches actually react.
They're not from the cafeteria. Oh no, I'm being recorded.
And they tend to hiss when they get disturbed, and we use this kind of insects in order to study neurophysiology, science for neurons, studying neurons. And we approach these kind of animals because they have the big legs, so we like big insects. We cannot use vertebrate research here, but invertebrate research can be applied with undergraduate studies. And so we ask these students to be donor of their neurons in order to be able to record the spontaneous electrical activity. And so students can verify that whatever we teach them in lecture is real and is actually happening in animal models.
So they record real action potentials. Those are the electrical signals of the brain and muscle and heart. And we don't require special approvals to use cockroaches, not yet. And the leg is removed and then recordings are done from the leg. They will regrow a leg, which is super cool. But it's like a tiny little leg that they'll regrow. But this is just for one of our classes. I don't want to focus too much on that. This is for introduction to neuroscience and for physiology. So it's and every single student gets to do experiments. That's my point, and it's a big advantage here. So we don't have, just like in some universities, you have a demonstration table while students are watching. Every student gets to do the experiment themselves. Of course, if they want to. What is that?
Oh,
you know
that. Have you ever seen this?
Maggots.
I forgot the name of those. You see them outside in the dirt with
They ball up again. There's a roly-polies.
See, roly-polies. Yeah,
and
they ball up.
Oh, we studied behavior. Believe it or not, we can define preference for certain environment or certain type of foods. And the mechanism that makes them decide what is the ideal place are the same mechanism that we have in our brain.
Interesting. So a lot of us, students want to study human stuff. But at an undergraduate level, unless you're in the psychology department where you are running surveys, in the biology department you use model organisms, such as these cockroaches or fruit flies or nematodes or frogs, etc. And we work on genes or aspects of behavior that are common to humans, and nowadays you kind of have to convince NIH if you want to get any grant. There's some research there.
I was the end of the research.
You have to convince the NIH that what you're doing has some long-term health benefits, and to get funding. And a lot of faculty have been funded. I myself was lucky to get an NIH grant from which you could purchase fancy instruments, which I'm going to show you in the fancy research lab. or pay students to do research. And these are grants that are hard to get. Only the top 7 to 10% of the faculty get that. We have a lot of faculty that get those grants, which is amazing. So I'll take you to one more room to show you some of the instruments we buy.
It's interesting.
You want to buy one?
No.
No, it's not that.
Oh, look at Alexia. It's cool. General biology.
Coffee set up for microbiology.
Go on here.
So, come in. As you can see, similar setup. In this case, every 2 students share a microscope, but it's not because we don't have enough microscopes. It's because usually the students split up into groups of 2, and they take turns preparing the microscopy slides versus looking at them. Our lab spaces are BSL 1 rated, which means the government allowed us to have certain microorganisms and bacteria to work with, and the students, with all safety measures themselves, will work with those bacteria, prepare slides, and actually there is an activity where they get to swab whatever they want from their environment. Some students a few years ago swabbed the subway turnstiles and the chairs, and then we get to sort of test what kind of bacteria they found. Some other instruments, you have some small instruments behind you. You have like some centrifuges, some PCR machines, in some other rooms you have some scanners, luminescent scanners that all of our students get to use directly themselves. So it's not that the instructor does the experiment while the students watch. The students will get trained on everything. As you can see here, the sets of pipetters. So every student really gets to do all the work themselves. And on our lab practical exams, students don't leave or pass if they can't demonstrate all those skills themselves. So really, we pride ourselves in our education here. Now, the 2 rooms I just showed you is big group activity, right? You have now up to 20 people. That's Bio 101, 102, genetics, etc. Then, when you get to do research with faculty one-on-one, which everybody's required to do, we move you into the fancy one-on-one research where you get to do research with every individual faculty in their area. And so I'm just going to gather in the hallway here and tell you the areas of research before we go into the research. In the hallways, so this hall is research produced directly by our students. So all the authors that you see there are first authors, they are students. A lot of the research was award-winning. For example, every year our students win awards. There are 2 major competitions we go to: Eastern College of Sciences Conference, where the entire Northeast goes. So that includes many Ivy League universities. Our students win first place, and it's again because we have so much hands-on with the students. Because we don't have a PhD program, everything the students do everything, and the judges they ask the students, "Oh, which part did you do?" And they're always shocked when the students say, "Well, what do you mean? Like I did this is all my work, right?" The other conference is the Neuron Conference we go to. Again, like our students would compete with 100 or so posters. They would win first place. So this type of research goes on in 2 large research labs that I'm going to take you into right now. It's a little bit crowded, so I'm just going to take time here to tell you the types of research we have. So the reason we come here is so I can look at each person's office and remember what they do. So we have Dr. Bill Eaton. He does microbial ecology. Bill takes students to Costa Rica where they explore the microbial composition of soil and compare forested versus not forested soils versus roads versus industrial use soils, and in the hopes of trying to see if bacteria and fungi can help restore forests. Then we have Dr. Wei Fang. She looks at invasive species. Most recently, She's looking at some water chestnut. That's the plant you see floating on the Hudson. And there are dead, oxygen dead zones in the Hudson underneath the water chestnut where no fish or anything would grow. So she studies that and uses GIS, Geographic Information Systems, for her research. And so many people around the university now want to collaborate with her because they want to study, trees and animals, etc. And then we have Dr. Strauss. He's a computational biologist that looks at the structure of an enzyme called topoisomerase and how antibiotics target it. Then my office, I'm a neuroscientist. I study on how mutations associated with epilepsy mess up the cell or disrupt cell balance, and then use drugs to try to normalize those cells in the hopes of having some personalized medicine. Then we have Dr. Erica Frisco. She studies fish in polluted versus unpolluted areas and their genomes, how they adapt. We have a reproductive biologist. We have a plant biologist who studies plant movements. As it turns out, there are genes that are neurotransmitter-like genes that control how the plants actually move in relation to light. And then we have a person who studies bat evolution and mechanics and their adaptation to various environments and plants that they eat, and makes amazing videos. I just recently saw a video, so I'm obsessed. So he puts all kinds of sensors on the bat's wings and then records their flight and then makes conclusions about their speed, their shape in relation to their environment. And then we finally have Jean Molina, who studies Rafflesia, the largest flower on the planet. It's called the corpse plant, and is trying to grow it in the US. It has never been grown in the Western Hemisphere, and just got a major grant from the US Botanical Garden to do work. This lab right here, we have her garden.
Cool. Smells like lab.
Look at this. My students left the instrument on.
Oh.
That's okay. It happens when they go. So, but just to their credit, I mean, this is a really fancy instrument that records electrical activity of, from frog egg cells. Actually, I may have some frog egg cells I could show you. Maybe. Oh, yes, I do. They're a little nasty because they are from the last week. Okay. Don't smell it. But you could pass this around, and what you'll see is each one of these dots. You can feel free to pass it around. Just don't tip it because it will leak.
Yeah.
Don't tip it, it will leak. So these are from last week. We wouldn't do experiments on this. So the frog eggs are pretty large, so they're easy to work with, and you could train undergraduates in maybe like a week to start impaling them, and we inject DNA or RNA into the frog eggs of a wild type, meaning normal, or a mutant gene that's been associated with epilepsy in some families. So epilepsies are different in different families, right? So, and most of the time you don't know how the mutation, quote unquote, messed up the cell. And so by studying it individually in an isolated system like this, because the frog cell is not going to have any other genes from a human or a nerve cell, so you can, any changes that you see you could attribute to the mutation. And so they study these minute electrical activities on this instrument behind you, and that's just one example. That is my research. And students can choose their mutation. They study cardiac disorders as well, or other neuromuscular diseases that they choose. I had a student recently told me, her father had early onset Alzheimer's disease and she wanted to do research with me. I'm like, well, I don't work on Alzheimer's.
Can I see it, Alexia?
Yeah,
You don't want to touch it?
so anyway, she convinced me and we did an Alzheimer's research project with her. But all of the instrumentation here, again, is used directly by the undergraduates. Here we have much more fancier instruments. Like we have a centrifuge over there, a simple centrifuge, like $50,000 because of the fast speeds that it can achieve to separate proteins from DNA, etc. And this is all obtained through the grants that faculty get that are, from NSF or NIH. And so, and we have another lab in that area over there. And so we do cell culture, like all of the, we don't have an electron microscope, for example, that you may find at an Ivy League. But I assure you that electron microscope at the Ivy League is not going to be used by an undergraduate student, no matter what. But also, they will have centrifuges that we have here, but that too is going to be used mostly by the PhD students. So I taught for 6 years. I taught at an Ivy League, and the undergraduates washed the beakers and restocked the lab. And when you gain their trust 3 years later, then you let them maybe run a PCR. Our undergrads run PCR in Bio 101 and then Bio 102, and then they start doing research and they're doing fancy electrophysiology or whatever molecular biology or doing CRISPR-Cas, genomic modification of organisms. So it's really, I think that is why, we were ranked #1 in economic mobility, our students going the furthest away from their parents in terms of income. I think that's every parent's wish. So I attribute it really to that close working with the faculty. So, if you have any questions that popped up about anything, coursework or dorms or research or classes or your career, I'm happy to answer them. Don't be shy. We're good for you.
Oh yeah, I want to see the forensic here.
No, just kidding. No, yes, that's what we're going to That has amazing instruments that get donated by the police and the not DOE office. Office of Medical Examiner, like they donate those instruments to PACE when they upgrade their instruments. Those instruments come here, and the students get to practice on those instruments, and they love our students because they already know how to run the instruments. Research really well. You read it for you?
Yeah, I was like...
Elder, all yours. Bye, enjoy.
It's a pleasure.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Go first here.
Thank you. Oh, look, Lexi. Put it at a table.
So this will be your room during the first year, the freshman year. So you will be here for general chemistry 1 and then general chemistry 2. So this is the what we call materials that we have. So some experiments are what we said integrated to computers. So the experiment that they have to get the conductivity this week, so this is what we call connected to the computer, so they will see the results through the computer. So at most, this can accommodate 24 students. The one I'm teaching this semester, I only have 18 students. I think the main reason that is the morning class from 9 to 12. Okay. Usually the one that is full, we could say full is the one in the afternoon from 1:20 to 4:20. Okay. So here they work as, we could say, a group. So we allow them to have at most 4 students in a group, or depending on how many students that we have. So sometimes if we have less students, we make them less number of students within the group. So you spend here at the most, hopefully a year, okay, in this room. So this is the general chemistry room. So you're here during your first year. And then once you survive this course, you're going to move to the smelly room, the organic chemistry room on the second year.
Look at Alexia, all the beakers and measuring instruments. Thank you. Oh wow. Yeah. Smelly room. Mm-hmm. Smelly room. How you doing dissections and stuff?
So as you can see, there are more what we call the foods here. Okay? So here, instead of you 4 students in a group, you will only work in pairs. That's why there's at least 13 of them. So 12 for them is for students. Okay? And the one is for the faculty and the group. So this is where you have the so-called organic chemistry. Okay, so those are parents, maybe you're familiar to take this course here in the younger years. Okay, you take it for the smell. That's why we have a lot of this here. I'm not teaching this course, so I hate those of these course. But this is usually where the course is a little bit challenging. And the way that we say it, if you survive this course, that means you're in for the program. Because a lot of students just change major. Sometimes they said, oh, my dreams of becoming a doctor is what we call jeopardize. But usually what we said is, if you really want to pursue your dream, you're going to focus on the goals that you have, and anything in that is just a challenge. Because every support that you need will be available. There's a tutoring center that you can, what we call, take advantage of. You don't have to pay to go there. So if you need some help, there are tutors there that will help you. They are being paid, so you might as well take advantage of that. And then, if you want to work here, we have student assistants. So usually, if you're biology, you can serve as what we call lab technician or student assistant in the biology side. If you're in chemistry, forensic science, or biochemistry, we usually have them because they're the one that we ask to help us with further aid and everything. So you, aside from you having what we call some stipend that you get, you also have experience in how to do in the real world. So here, what you observe, the students become close to one another, whether they are what? Biology, chemistry, biochemistry, forensic science major. Because usually, for the first 2 years, those majors, they have the same courses that we take. So from the big general chemistry class, and then the organic class, and then by the 3rd year, that's the time the specialization comes in. So this is where you are in what we call during your 2nd year. And then after that, we're going to what we call leave you. Either you're on the bio side, so you go to the rooms that they have, and then we also have our own room that we have. And I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, we have the physics under our room. So for 2 semesters, you're going to take some course of that, and then we will going to what we call show you the physics room, so you will have an idea, and then show you the different room where we do the research, where you have this sort of hands-on experience. So as much as possible, we want our students to experience how to operate and use instruments, so they can put them in the CV. Because we always said, if you put in the CV, make sure you can explain the principle of it, because some of you will be asked to explain, so what is this instrument all about? And if you don't know anything about it, then they will catch you that you are just lying in your CV. So this is, we could say, part of the renovation that doctors of use. So we're lucky to have this much improved what we call the space here. Because the problem with New York City, we don't have much space. So we utilize what this space. So questions so far? So I just show you in the room because that's all that we can offer aside from the faculty that we have. So usually the advantage that we have compared to big university like NYU, all the laboratory classes are held by PhD, which is a golden. In a big university, usually it's the what we call teaching assistant or graduate student that holding them. I know that because I was a PhD student at the University of Buffalo, so I hold what we call laboratory courses. So the advantage that we have in a small university like this is usually these classes are being led by PhD holders. Okay? So we're going to pass by in our computational room and physics room. The chemistry side have their students here. So the way that they do is you can take a look at it. So they do some electrical experiments here. Okay. And then there's only one faculty that we have in the physics, Dr. Lascaris. Okay. And he tried to at least add fun on this what we call hard course compared to the other. And then if you end up in chemistry, biochemistry, or forensic science, you have this so-called computational room where each of you will be taught how to use computers to program, let's say, some medicine or some, we could say, use model to find if the molecules that you design can at least inhibit an enzyme that causes diseases or other stuff. So usually I'm not the one handling that thing. That's Dr. Dimos, a physical chemist. So one of the guy who was in the panel worked with him, and that guy also worked with me. But the one that I would like to show you is the one here. All the DNA analysis that we have is here. So we have two instruments. So this is the polymer chain analyzer, PCR. And then they prepare it on that one. But the one that we have here, this is where we hold the analytical chemistry and biochemistry lab. So we do wet lab here. Okay. We do titration, gravimetry, and sometimes we use the UV-Vis, and then we have this what we call the microscope. Okay. So some of us are doing our research here during the time that this is available. And some of the forensic science class is being held here. Unfortunately, someone put the cameras, this trader. Okay. There's a trader last Friday, so maybe they clean up because they know they have some visitors here. So third year, they're here, and then by the fourth year, we go to this room that has different instruments.
Interesting.
Usually, there's event like open house. If you're available, you can come here and prepare your what we call sample. She's a second year what we call student. She's working on some stuff. Sometimes they want to do it when no one is in the laboratory. So you see all of these instruments that we have here, they're functional, and the students have what we call hands-on knowledge. But the old one, what we try to do is, if they're not working, we try to open them and show them what's the different parts of the instrument. So if something happens, they can troubleshoot the instrument. So those are an hours of what we call the DCMS. And that's the, we could say, gold standard if you are in the forensic science. So we have some HDS here. Okay. This is what we call the AS and etc. So as much as possible, we try our students to use this, and hopefully they don't break it. And some students break it, but we try to fix it. Okay? If it's particularly sometimes broken, we have to spend a lot of money. But the way that we do is, if we use it as much as possible, we'll do just like Elizabeth right now. So we don't allow students to work on their own. Okay? We are required to be here with their under what we do. So here where they do the research, and sometimes they what people present it in conference. So my own team, we usually attended the American Chemical Society national meetings. So they get in the major cities around the US. And the good thing about that is the university pays for that. Okay? So as much as possible, we want the students to have this opportunity. So that's, I think, our advantages compared to this. Some of us, what people has papers published, aside from presenting in conferences, like what Tommy says. So Tommy is working on it. I'm not saying under because for me, I said, if you're done with me, if you want to work with the other professor, it's fine. Because the advantage there is if they need letter of recommendation, it's easier for them to get it from us. Because I said, if you just give my students in the course, so what will I say? I just say that you are number one in class. If you do research, I can do, or I can ask more, we can say, wording so that you are. Questions so far? So this is usually a teaching and a research lab. And the last that I will bring to you is a research lab where us faculty are sharing some space with the people of the research lab. But most of the instruments are here. Okay? If ever we have an instrument in the research lab that is higher end compared to the one that we have here. And for that, you can only use it if you're training already how to run it. Okay? Because most of the time some students don't know what to do. So we always just make sure you know, or at least you already know how to use this instrument. Questions so far?
Are they the one rented by NYPD?
Yeah. So usually those stuff there we get it from the drug enforcement agency. Sometimes because we are faculty, they said that we're disposing some of this stuff. And some of them we charge too much to get this one. So you can bring it on site. Like for analysis of the explosives or illicit drugs. So you just bring a laptop, there's a software installed on the laptop, use it to determine a particular substance and right over the library and then what substance. So that usually that's the thing that we train our students. Okay. The questions so far before we go to the last room. Okay.
That's cool though. Smells medical. I like the smell. I like the smell. Because you belong in it as a medical physician.
So this is our research lab. Okay, so we have some instrument here, like GCM measure, EEG, electron analyzer, and hopefully we're trying to get something with the pieces in the back, but after the pandemic, we have a hard time securing the funding for that. So this is where most of the students just do the research, okay? So that one is a computer clusters by Professor Dimos, Professor Lastris, and Professor Chan, okay? This one is under Dr. Dai, and this mess up here, this is mine. So what we do here, we're trying to what we call have plants, and what we do is we put some metal on it and determine if the plants uptake the metals, or in my case, I try to look at the antibiotics if the antibiotics are being uptaken by the plant. Okay? And the way I usually analyze for me is I use the so-called practical chemistry. So we analyze all the stuff that we can analyze, like what Elizabeth's doing now. She's trying to determine the metal content of the cereals, our everyday cereals. Okay? So the way for me is I want it to be safe, so I just use consumer materials products as the one that we analyze. But the others, they have high-end, like Dr. Rizzo. He do some synthesis of antimicrobial coatings. Okay, I think he got a patent on that, and the Army is financing or funding the research, and then Dr. Basis is also doing some synthesis of these drugs for the so-called antiprotozoan diseases from the Haskins lab, which is on this side. So usually the students are here. What they do is they just do what we call research. We seldom use it for teaching unless the instrument there is not working. Okay, so we use this as what we call instruments. So the material that we have here is more high-end compared to the one that we have. And usually the students have their own space here. That's Dr. Rizzo, Dr. Lastris, and then this is Dr. Dai, and this is mine, and then Dr. Okeshis is here, and then we have our own what we call food. So we're just sharing our what we call space. The question. So this is what we have. This is what we offer to our students. And our students, the one who graduated, are always said, oh, we're thankful that we have this what we call the experience, because we encounter some. I also work some in other schools in CUNY. So I'm working there because the instruments that they have is much higher end here. And if I want my students' result here to be published in a high impact factor publications or journals, I usually use them, bring the stuff, and then do the analysis and see if it's really the right one that we get usually. And whenever I ask some of the students there, because they have a graduate program, I always have you used this one like in NYU? And no, we never use that. We're not allowed to touch any of the instruments in what we call college. So this is the first time that I will have hands-on experience. Question?
Exiting, Lexi. Got you exiting. Pace University. Look, Lexi, it used to be called Pace College.
Really?
Yeah, see? 1969. And then now it's Pace University.
They never changed?
Yeah, let me show you where I used to go to my traveling grounds. The subways.
Right there?
Yep.
Right there.
Yep. Where I actually used to get on and off the train to come to Pace. Yeah, see? Brooklyn Bridge, City Hall. See that?
Yeah.
See? That's where you see it. Cool, right? How was Pace, Lex?
It was nice.
What did you love best about it?
The labs.
The labs, of course. And the hospital smell?
I got my new backpack.
Oh, yeah. Very, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it looked just like a hospital.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminded me of the environment.
What did you think about some of the professors that you...
All of them were nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the environment there is nice too. There's a lot of nice people.
Yeah. Cool. First college tour down.
Yeah. 4 more to go?
Yep. 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 Next up, what is it?
NYU.
Yeah. All right. It's a wrap for Pace University. Bye, Pace. I'll see you later.
We just left Pace University. It was a really nice tour. Mommy's driving. Soon I'll be driving. Soon I'll be the one driving. It was a really nice tour. There were a lot of nice people and
Speed trap
professors.
reported ahead.
And,
Slowing down always helps me get
It
inspired.
was overall a nice experience.
21 miles.
it turns out they're partnered with Grubhub, so you can order things like with the money that they have to either your dorm room or to like the actual college. And the inside of the labs actually look like a college, so it's really, I mean, a college. It actually looks like a hospital. A hospital. So it's really nice in there. It gives you a sense of what it actually is like to be a doctor. So I really enjoyed that.
Now we're about to meet a lot of Pace University students who were
Oh yeah,
tour guides.
there were a lot of nice tour guides. We had a lot of nice tour guides. Shout out to Jessica. There was another one with a J, and I can't remember her name, but she was really nice.
Yeah, I think I caught her in the film, so.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. It was nice.
And I'm gonna give her a pre-congratulatory for her AKA, because I know she's gonna kill it. She's gonna become an AKA Sora.
Sora. Who?
We were talking to.
Oh yeah. But bye Manhattan. It was nice. And
I always enjoy going back to my alma mater, Pace University. Amazing. And look at it, I was dressed in the Pace colors and I didn't even plan this. Right, Lex?
Yeah. I was just wearing white and blue jeans.
Yeah.
Blue jeans is also Spanish for jeans, so yeah.
Well, you didn't want to go with the Lululemon vibe like myself, but
I didn't even think of wearing Lululemon, but look at my bag. And my mom got a yellowtail.
no, the name is to be announced soon because I don't even know.
We're not
still
gonna,
working on it.
We're not posting this, but
No. We'll on our next adventure for NYU, I will definitely let you know what name I came up with for my Pace University Teddy because right now I'm like
to be determined.
yeah.
But